Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing my July TBR. That is crazy. Halfway through the month, that's mental. That's crazy. So, I don't know if in the frame you can see my TBR. It's really optimistic. It's quite ambitious. Typically in a month I would read at maximum 8 books. I have more than that on the TBR, so I can pretty much say I'm definitely not going to get to all of them. And I typically try to format my TBRs more like I want to for sure read this. But I'm kind of taking at least this month in more of a mentality of this is what I'm currently interested in reading. Let's see if I get to it. Now there's a few I've already started. There's a few that I'm not looking to read in completion in the month. So I'm helping myself out that way. The first one is a pocket history of Northern Ireland. I have read the first 2 parts, which I just realized I totally forgot to mention in my wrap-up. But I didn't finish it, so it's okay. So I've read The Union Unravels and Consolidation, and now this month I'm going to be reading Decline and Fall. Sounds good. In total there's 6 parts, and they're about 40 pages each, but they're little pages, so it's easy enough to do. So yeah, I'm glad I'm doing it in little bits and pieces because it's not cheery. So it's nice to just do little segments, little tastes. Next is one that I got in March. I actually got on my birthday, ironically. It wasn't for my birthday, but it was cool timing. And it came out, when did it come out? The start of April? Yeah, the 1st of April, and I've been wanting to read it ever since, and I just have not gotten to it yet, so I really want to get to it this month. And that is The Drowned City by K.J. Maitland. This one is a historical fiction, but also I think a bit of a murder mystery. Let me see here. I wouldn't necessarily not a murder mystery, but it does have investigations and that. So it is a historical fiction and it is set in 1606. And I love historical fiction, and I especially seem to enjoy reading historical fiction set in the 1600s to 1800s roughly. And this just sounds like something I would just really love. So I really want to get to it. I'm really excited to read it. And yeah, the publishers were kind enough to send it to me, and I really want to read it. So I'm really hopeful that this is the month. The next one I started in June, and I'm hoping to finish in July, and that is Antrim Folktales by Billy Tier and Kathleen O'Sullivan. And I have Down Folktales as well. So this is all about County Antrim and in its vastness, all the different folk tales throughout history. So I started reading it a bit. It actually has stuff based in Rathlin Island, which is what led Miles and I to go to Rathlin Island for a day. I'm about a third of the way through. Some of them that we've read have just been really cool, really interesting, and I was thrilled that the one I read about Rathlin Island was mentioned when I was on Rathlin Island, so that was very cool. So that's Antrim Folktales. Another one that I'm not planning on finishing this month. If I do, great, and if I don't, that's totally fine. And it is the short story collection Still Worlds Turning, and it's an anthology. It's edited by Emma Warnock, and it is published by Noel Bice Press. You will see another book by them on this TBR. And it has 20 different authors' short stories, so I read a couple of them and have enjoyed them, and I think especially since I'm just getting into the world of short stories, an anthology is a great way for me to kind of find new authors. So I do have a couple other collections, but I kind of want to focus on one at a time. So if I finish it, great, and if I don't, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna dip in and out of it as I feel like it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a really neat collection from the ones that I've read so far. I've been liking it. And then I'm deciding which one I want to do next. We'll do this one. Okay, so the next one I have also started. So at least I've got a few of these on the go. It's another one that I just really feel like I'm gonna love, like The Drowned City, except it has a totally opposite kind of vibe, but it's still kind of everything I love in historical fiction. And that is Still Life by Sarah Winman. This is set during World War II in Italy. Specifically, I think Florence plays a big part, and I've been to Florence and I loved it. I loved Italy. We went to, where did we stop at? We went to Assisi, Pisa, Florence, and Rome, and I just adored it. So I feel like this is going to make me feel very wistful and very nostalgic for Italy. Yeah, I'm just really, really excited for this one. Then the next one that I have also started, so I've made a bit of a dip into them, and that is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. Last month I read The Hobbit and I really loved it. When Miles and I went to Rathlin Island, it was like an hour and a half drive each way, so we put on the audiobook for this and we're listening to it. So I'm 80 pages in or so, and I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I've never read the Lord of the Rings series before, but I know I have an idea of what happens because I grew up with VeggieTales and Lord of the Beans was a favorite. So I have an overall kind of understanding of just the overall way the story maps out. But I'm quite enjoying it, and it is large, so I'm kind of like, will I finish it this month? But hopefully I will. But I am really, really liking it. Okay, so I have 2 left. And the first one is one that's, I have 3 left. I forgot to grab that one. I'll need to grab that one. Okay, I have 3 left. This one is one I got in 2019 when we visited Canada, and I've still not read it yet. I've gone to pick it up a few times, and then I read the synopsis, and something in the synopsis every time puts me off reading it, so I'm not even reading the synopsis. I have an inkling, I think, of what it's about, and I'm just going to go with that. So it is The Daughter's Tale by Armando Lucas Correa. And it is, I believe it's set during a war or a revolution. I'm trying to remember, but it's a historical fiction. I don't remember if it's set during the World War or maybe even like the American Revolution. I'm not sure, but kind of something along that. And I was really, really interested in it when I picked it up. And like, it's floppy, it's got deckled edges, it's just, I really want to read it, and I feel like it's been sitting on my TBR for too long, and I'm trying to start to, while I actively read books that I've recently gotten, so they don't end up sitting on my TBR for a long time, I'm trying to, I forgot 2 books, oh no. I'm trying to read ones that I've had for a while to kind of start balancing myself out a little bit. Okay, I need to grab those other 2. Okay, so like there's a fair amount on this TBR. I'm not gonna get to all of them, and I'm currently trying to figure out my priorities on them. But anyway, so another one is The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. Basically, I have 8 books. I have 8 books by Philippa Gregory, and I've never read any of her work. But 6 of them are this series, and it's about the Tudors, I believe. No, it might not actually be set during the Tudors. Oh, okay, the War of the Roses. Oh, right. Okay, so heading into the Tudors. So probably ends with the Tudors. But I have never read any of her work. I got the full series last year, and I haven't read it, so I'm like, if I read the first book, that'll get me started, and then I can read them all, because I just think it's ridiculous that I own 8 of her books, and I have not read 1, so I really, really, really should prioritize this. And then another one that I actually just added to the TBR today, because I'm trying to be more active with unhauling books if I don't think I'm going to read them and this, that, and whatnot. And this one I got last year, and it was one of the ones that was really hyped up last year. I saw it all over Bookstagram, and I was just like, is this actually for me? Did I just go along with the hype? And then I read the first chapter, and I was like, oh, okay, no, like, what's going to happen? So, hopefully I'm into it. It seems so, but it's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I think this is a YA mystery, but I read the first chapter and I was already pretty intrigued, so hopefully that's a good sign. There are a handful of ones that mainly I just got kind of last year when when it was all hyped up. And while the synopses sound good, it's not necessarily something I would read, so I'm going to be probably trying chapters of books and seeing if I want to unhaul them, but this one is not being unhauled, and not at the moment anyway, so that's good. And then the last one is the other one by No Alibis Press, and this one was just published at the start of June here. Yeah, the start of June. And that is Seed by Joanna Walsh. And this one I can't even really describe to you. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't even fully know, but I started reading it a bit, and I was just like really intrigued by it. Like really intrigued. I'll just read the synopsis on the back because that's just probably what's best. So it says, "We are reading English literature to tell us what England is. I have never lived in England. I have lived here all my life. An English valley, summer of 1988. A girl leaves school to turn 18 in the raw industrial countryside outside a new town. A polyphonic novel, Seed celebrates the dirty beauty of an untold pre-internet adolescence, of bodies, sexualities, class, environment, fear, joy, and love. Shaped by contemporary terrors, CJD, AIDS, Chernobyl, by the voices of fashion magazines, government warnings, media reports of disasters elsewhere, and the words Ophelia speaks in Hamlet, the narrator's voice is also the voice of the seasons budding, blooming, fruiting, and of human time, of something that grows and blossoms between girl and womanhood. Seed is tied by a hidden linguistic constraint." So it just really fascinated me. It just did. And it sounds like, flipping through it, it looks like short stories. And I don't think it exactly is, but I don't think it exactly isn't, from kind of what I've gathered about it. It's like different characters' stories, but the characters do interact with each other, but it follows a chronological time frame. And yeah, so I'm really interested in it. I'm really, really excited to get to it. And I can't wait to kind of find out what it's about and let you guys know. Now for reviewing these throughout the month, I used to review every single book that I read, but if some are maybe a 3-star or less, hopefully not, but like 3-star or less, I'm not going to review them, because for me, if it's a 3-star, that's kind of just a meh. Like it was there, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, it existed is kind of where 3 is for me. And which kind of would also mean I don't really have much to say about it. So if I really, really enjoy it, I will do a review for it. So that could be anywhere from 4 or 5-star. But I just feel like, why do a review if I don't really have any concise, clear thoughts to say about it? I'm not going to get to all of these. Just being like, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, no. Granted, like, the Northern Ireland Pocket History, I'm not going to be finishing, and I very well might not be finishing the collection, the short story collection, but like The Fellowship of the Ring is large, then there's Drowned City and Still Life, like those are 3 not small books, so I don't exactly know what I'm going to read or what I'm going to prioritize, but this is what I would like to. This is the general idea of what I would like to read. It's especially optimistic because I have a feeling I'm going to be getting much busier in July, so I don't even know what my reading is going to look like. So why not do the biggest TBR yet? Who knows? You know, who could tell? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you're most excited to read in July. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.